So, the new year kicked off with a bang for the stock market. But wow, the real fireworks, they were all going off in one very specific, very critical sector. We're talking about a massive rally in semiconductor chips.
So what in the world is fueling the next big thing in tech?
Well, it all comes down to these tiny little chips, and they're fueling a rally that's just massive. It's a story that's been captivating the market for years now. Okay, so first up, let's just look at the numbers behind the news from the start of the trading year. They're pretty staggering. I mean, right out of the gate, Micron technology jumps a full 10%. And we're not talking for the year, that's just to kick off the year. For a company that size, that's a huge move. And this wasn't some one-off thing either. You've got ASML, that absolutely essential Dutch chip equipment maker, surging 9% right alongside them. Investors were just piling in. And you know, this wasn't just about a couple of star players. The rally was broad. I mean, you had Lam Research and Intel both jumping over 6%, Marvell up 5%, AMD climbing 4%. This was a clear signal across the entire sector that the momentum was really picking up steam. All right, so that's the what. But let's get to the real meat of it, the why. What is the fundamental force driving these incredible gains? You can sum it up in two letters, AI, artificial intelligence. We are smack in the middle of this massive, ongoing global build-out of AI infrastructure. See, to train an AI model, you've got to feed it just unimaginable amounts of data. Think the entire internet. And then it has to run trillions of calculations. That kind of work requires a very specific kind of computing power that, guess what? Only these semiconductor companies can provide. It's really the classic gold rush analogy, right? The surest way to get rich isn't to be the one digging for gold, it's to be the one selling the picks and shovels. And right now, AI is the gold. And these chip makers, well, they're selling all the tools.
Okay, so who's buying all these picks and shovels? They have a name for them, hyperscalers. It sounds complicated, but it's really just a fancy term for the biggest names in tech. You know, your Amazons, your Googles. These guys are spending billions, with a B, to build out these colossal data centers, all to keep up with this just unwavering global demand for AI.
And here's a really crucial piece of context. While the start of this year felt like a rocket launch, this isn't exactly new. This trend has been building for a while now. In fact, this is the third straight year of major gains for the chip sector. So this isn't just a flash in the pan. It feels more like a sustained fire. And that, of course, brings us to the central tension in this whole story. Because whenever you see a sector run this hot for this long, one question always comes up. Is this an AI bubble? I mean, that's the question echoing everywhere right now, from trading rooms to boardrooms. History is just littered with examples of exciting new tech creating these massive bubbles that eventually pop. So is this time any different? And look, these concerns aren't coming out of nowhere. People are looking at these sky-high valuations that just seem totally disconnected from traditional metrics. They're asking, hey, is this level of spending actually sustainable in the long run? And frankly, they're just worried that the whole sector is growing at this breakneck pace that historically is just incredibly difficult to maintain.
And then, to add some serious weight to that bubble argument, you've got a pretty big name entering the chat. Michael Burry. Yeah, that Michael Burry, the investor from The Big Short who famously predicted the 2008 crash. He's taken a short position, which is basically a massive bet that these stocks are going to fall. When a guy like that makes a move, you can bet everyone pays close attention.
So, okay, we've got these two really powerful opposing stories. On one side, you have the unstoppable AI revolution. On the other, you have these very real fears of a speculative bubble. To get a better sense of the scale here, let's just follow the money and look at the hard data. Now, instead of just cherry-picking one company, a really great way to get a feel for the entire industry is to look at an ETF, an exchange-traded fund. The VanEck Semiconductor ETF, its ticker is SMH, basically holds a basket of all the top chip stocks. It gives us a perfect snapshot of the whole sector. And the performance here, it is absolutely stunning. The fund shot up nearly 50% in 2025 alone. But get this, back in 2023, it gained over 72%. That was its best year ever. This chart right here really just visualizes that powerful, sustained trend we've been talking about. And even within that incredible sector-wide performance, you have these individual superstars that did even better. In 2025, AMD just soared an astonishing 77%. And NVIDIA, the darling of the AI world, tacked on another 39% to its already massive value. You can't argue with these numbers.
So what's the bottom line here? The numbers are real. The rally is absolutely built on a truly transformative technology. But the fears of a bubble, backed by some of the sharpest minds on Wall Street, are just as real. Which leaves us all with the ultimate question. Are we looking at the foundation of our entire technological future, or a bubble that's just waiting to pop?